Hi everybody, this is Back to Basics Part 3. I'm William Noble, I'm the PGA professional at St Anne's Golf Club. Over the last few weeks we've been talking about the importance of the basic fundamentals and the basic setup and how that really relates to you simplifying your swing and making you more consistent. So we're going to be talking a bit more about how the club face, how the grip, how the posture, and how your balance, all those things help to give you what we're going to talk about today, which is your halfway position, the top of your swing, and how that transitions back to the ball. Part of that conversation is I'm going to be highlighting certain areas to do with the width of your stance and how that really has a big effect on the contact on the ball and which club you use. It's not just about just having the same width of stance for every shot, because you've got to adapt to your clubs as you do to your environment. So I'll just do a quick review of what we've done. We've worked on a much straighter club face. So if I use the patio here, you'll see it there. I'm using that line, keeping the club face straight. I pick it up and it looks like that. Rather than close and open, it looks square. And then with the grip, being a right-handed golfer, it goes through the middle of your forefinger to your little finger, and all the pressure is on the back three fingers, on this padded part of my hand, and on the thumb when I swing to the top. From there, I bring my right hand in from the side, which I create that curve in my hand, so it gels nicely together with my left hand, making them work as one. And because I've got small fingers, I like to overlap. And it suits the size of the grip I have in my club, which are a lady's size. So I got the perfect mold shape my hands on the golf club. This gives me lovely control over the club face, but allows me to have the right tension in my hands and create the right angles in my golf swing. Now from there, once I'm comfortable with my posture, I let the club tell me how much to bend over. So you stand up your normal height, bum out, tilt from the waist, and then I soften my knees, and that gives me the right position for my posture out of dress. And then I can just create my movement from there. I'm aware my balance is more in the middle of my feet, which then allows me to turn correctly using the ground to achieve that. I normally get a rope like this, which is a great drill to get my arms out in front of me as if they were hanging like a normal golf shot. That's where my ball position would normally be, out in front of me for the length of the club I'm using. And then I create a movement with my body and swing my arms up like pulling with a rope this way. So I turn and pull up, and that creates the right angle for the club shaft to go around my body, and I'll show you with that with a golf swing now. And then from there, with this, my left hand, the glove hand, I pull down, which pulls me through to the ball. So I'll show you what that looks like from this angle. So from here out in front of me, I'll go back a bit further so you can see it. So in front of you, bend forward. From there, I just turn into the backswing like so, halfway, and then from there I pull to the top. And then I pull down with this glove hand again to get my body into a really good position through impact, and I pull through and finish. So for me, that's a great drill to work on your golf swing and the feeling of how your body moves. Now let's break that down into parts. So with my favorite club, 8-iron, I'll put white sticks down on the ground for you now, like so. So that white stick is the line that my ball is going to be on. So I'll place a ball here, a yellow one, so you can see it. So that's the direction the ball is going to travel. I'm going to have my feet parallel to that. So I'll put one of my own golf clubs down, like so, because I know that's near enough the right distance away. I'll do my posture as we did before, bend down, like that. Now, what I'm going to try and do is have this shaft in line with my feet halfway back like the rope I had. So I'll turn my body and swing my arms up. So now that shaft is parallel to the club on the ground. That's my half swing. It's really, really important that you get that you don't create it with your hands where you're working your hands around your body, because then you have to coordinate getting your body out of the way very, very quickly, squaring up the club with your hands. If you've got the right grip pressure and the right grip, and your body controls it from the ground up, you'll have a lot more consistency with this. You can still miss-hit shots, but your misses will be better. So I work from my body from here, where I turn my belly towards you, and then my arm swing gently up. Now, from that point on, what happens is I'll just come into a bit forward like that. Once I have that half position, from there it's an upward movement of the arms like this, and as I'm doing that, my shoulders are rotating and there's limited movement down here. So that's creating the plane of swing. Move that ball back there. So we go again. So I'll step away over here so you can see it better. So we go again. So I swing halfway back, swing my arms up, and my upper body's turning to get the club parallel at the top to a point. With me, I'm slightly restricted because of my age and the work I do in my golf swing. So my full swing looks like a 3/4 swing. Now sometimes it will look parallel if my grip pressure is different. Where if I'm gripping a little tight, it's pointing up. Okay, so it's halfway, arms up, rotate the shoulders to the point where you can without changing your body height. That's so important. So from this angle, it looks like this. I'll do it in front of you. So it's here. So it's turn halfway, and you'll notice the width here. I'm going to show that with a different ball now. And then from there, I swing up as I turn my body. If I swing here and I can't turn any more than that with my shoulders, I might do that. And that really affects power and how you square up the ball. So again, I do it halfway, swing up and rotate, but without standing up like I just did. So again, swing halfway and turn while arms swing up. And that really gets me set then to swing down from that position. So from there, your grip pressure is so important for your setup. So my grip pressure is correct, that club will hinge correctly for the length of the club I'm using. So I'm using my 8-iron. So it will hinge, it's probably at some point about here, depending on grip pressure. If I'm holding it tight, the shaft points out more like that. Okay, so I'll show you from this angle. So half swing is there, grip pressure is correct. The weight of the club and the speed I swing it up will change how my hands move. And that sets me up to actually swing down into that ball nicely. If I grip it a bit tight, it'll look like that and it restricts movement. So your grip pressure again is so important. Now, I was saying about width of stance and ball position. The width of stance is really crucial depending on the length of the club you're using. So if I got a shorter shaft like this one, that's the angle, it's quite steep. So I'm trying to create that angle with the club on the downswing and on the backswing, and that normally comes from a good setup. But very important, grip pressure and ball position is correct. So if say my grip pressure is correct, I'm getting this lovely angle in the shaft and the ball's left to center, that's where these two are going to marry up at impact. It's going to hit down on the ball and catch the ball nice and cleanly. If I have it too far forward and I'm creating a steep angle, I'm either going to hit here or I'm going to go looking for it. So your ball position is so important. And then when I go to my longer clubs like my fairway wood or a driver, ball position's got to be a lot more forward and I have to create a wider stance. The wider stance lowers me, creates a shallower angle into the ball rather than steep. Having the ball position forward marries up to the angle of the shaft, the angle the club's coming back into the ball, mainly because I'm not in the middle, because I'm wider, my upper body's slightly tilted behind, which is creating that upward blow on the ball. Where if I stayed centered, I'd be coming down steep with a long shaft, which would cause me to hit different types of shots, cuts, pulls, because my hands will do wonderful things, hit them heavy. So the reason why the feet are wider is to do with this angle here. It's much flatter. Everything comes towards the belly button there. Where if I get my 8-iron and I put it there, you can see the angle is very different than the angle of the shaft. So we're trying to create those angles into the ball, and it'll happen through the perfect setup. You shouldn't have to think about it, but you've got to make sure you meet the ball halfway. So you've got to make sure your ball position is correct. Help yourself hit a good clean shot with a good setup rather than having to manipulate somewhere in the golf swing to hit that perfect golf shot. So with this type of setup, the front foot very rarely moves forward, only a tiny bit, and a much wider stance, which creates that angle, which allows me to hit it more on the up to give me that lovely clean contact. And if I've got my 8-iron again, 9-iron pitch and wedge, about shoulder width apart, that's that's creating a steeper angle in the ball because of the setup, because I'm more centered, I'm not behind it, which creates that motion. Grip pressure will help with that, and the angle of the shaft will help with that to match up to where the ball is. So it's really important you're aware of the club you're using, the correct ball position off a flat lie. When you're on awkward slopes, that's a different conversation that we have to have. So ball centered, creating that steeper angle. Okay, so halfway again, we've got to work on our setup. I've got to just recap back on the start of the swing. Once the balance is right and the posture is right, and you're happy enough with everything else, I'm initiating my swing from my lower body. So I'm starting to turn. So you've got to get a sense of using the ground. It looks like your weight's going back, which it is, but you're also pushing into the ground to create these movements. So your balance is really important. So you're turning halfway back and then swing up. So I'll just get this ball to show you what it looks like. So I'll just put this between my arms so you can see the difference. So I'll set up to it, swing halfway back. So you see that there? You can see the ball in between my arms. And then from there, it swings up, keeping the distance between me and my hands, and you turn at the same time. I do from front on. So I'll swing halfway back, keeping the width between my hands and my right hip there, and swing up, and then bring it back into a good position there, and add impact, which I'll talk about in another video. So you're always trying, when you swing halfway back, your arms go up, which actually create that width. It's not that motion stretching out to create width. You turn as your arms gently go up. Grip pressure creates all these angles with the right grip position and momentum as well. Okay, so I hope that's helped. I'll just show you that drill with the rope again, which you can do at home with an elastic band. I use these ropes which for stretching, but I think they're bloody great for working on the feel of the golf swing. So nice and tight. You can make it as short or as long as possible. So do it again just to get the feel of what the body wants to do. So you know everything's correct with your posture. You just turn with your body into halfway position. So you can see where my hands are. My left hand will be in line with my feet halfway back. So I turn halfway, and then I swing up by pulling with my right arm, turn more to create that movement. And then from there, with my glove hand, I pull down to create the right movement through with my body on the way through with the golf swing. So you just get a sense of the feel of what you're trying to do. I'll break down the positions for you in the next video of how to start the downswing. So halfway again, swing up, pull down with the left hand, and release. Okay, so the setup, basic setup, is still very, very important. How you hold it, how you aim it, how you stand to it with your body, and letting the clubs dictate that for you. And then finally, the ball position is really crucial for that club to marry up, both not just with contact, but how cleanly, with contact, but how cleanly you hit it. You don't hit the ground, you hit the ball first, then the ground with some of your certain clubs, and then with the woods, you're hitting it more on the upswing because you've adjusted your body in relation to the ball position and the width of the stance. All right, so I hope this helped. Next session, we're going to talk a little bit more all about the setup again, but then what the feels and how you create those motions down. But I gave a little bit away with the rope, but how to get into the right positions halfway back, down to the swing, the impact position, and the ideal follow through. But remember, with this one, once you're happy with your setup, we want a good position halfway back to make it easy just to swing up, swing down, and then go through. Okay, so I hope this helped, and I'll speak to you soon.